Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's demo on Jira Service Management, more commonly known as JSM. JSM is the modern ITSM solution from Atlassian. Whether you're already using Jira for project management or just exploring options, today we're going to show you how Jira Service Management can seamlessly integrate with Jira to create a powerhouse of IT operations and business collaboration. And then, as we see here on the next slide, we should have our agenda. Perfect. So we're going to first start off with some intros from our side, then talk about the value of the Atlassian suite, jump into some JSM basics, then our demo, and we'll finish everything up with questions. As you do have questions arise, please put them into the Q&A section or into the chat, and we will address those at the end in that questions section. Perfect. So I'll get things started here. My name is Michael Adelson. I've been in the Atlassian ecosystem for 4 years now, and I'm going to be leading this webinar from our side, and I will hand it on over to Olivia.
Hi there, I'm Olivia Gallo, or better known as OMG myself, a founder and CEO of the company. We've been around for many, many years, since about 2000 when we were founded, but we did a variety of things back then, and we've been doing Atlassian work for about 5 years now. It'll actually be 5 years in May here, so I'm very proud of it. And we have a great team here for you. I'll pass it off to Danielle.
Oh, Danielle, you're on mute.
Every single meeting needs someone with who's accidentally on mute, doesn't it? Anyway, I'm Danielle Green. I'm the senior consultant at OMG, or one of the senior consultants. I've been working with Atlassian products since 2013, so I kind of do know them fairly well. I've worked with many, many teams from a variety of different sectors: health, travel, software development mainly, service desks, you name it. I've probably seen some of it, and I love a good workflow. And well, over to Heather.
Hi, I'm Heather Nichols. I'm a COO at OMG, and I do the day-to-day operations in the background, billing and things like that. So if you hear from me, then I'm probably sending you a bill. I'll hand it over to Gabe.
Thanks, Heather. Hi, everybody. Nice to meet you. My name is Gabe Kaplan. I have been in the Atlassian ecosystem for 3 years now. I was at Atlassian serving customers there, and now I serve customers here at OMG, helping with sales and account management.
Well, that's me. So I'll tell you a little bit about OMG. We're women-owned. As far as we can tell, we're the only women-owned solution partner in the United States. We do other things, mainly Atlassian, but we also do a lot of process work and other types of consulting. We help mostly businesses in highly regulated industries, so energy, financial services, healthcare, pharma, those kinds of things. And yeah, that's pretty much what we do. We have consultants all over the world and clients globally as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Olivia. So let's talk about the value of using the Atlassian suite of tools together. The three core Atlassian tools are Jira Software, Confluence, and Jira Service Management. Jira Software is the #1 tool for agile teams. Jira adapts to any workflow, be it Scrum, Kanban, DevOps, or even Waterfall. Now, onto Confluence, the central hub for team collaboration and knowledge sharing. Think about all the time you've lost looking for documents and then figuring out if they're the up-to-date version or not. Confluence eliminates that by giving your team a single source of truth for all information. Finally, JSM. We'll dive into it deeper on the next slide, but it is an ITSM game changer that brings dev, IT, and business teams together to deliver high-velocity support. By using all three tools, you gain one source of truth with unified workflows across teams. This reduces your overall costs, administrative overhead, and team silos. With these benefits from the Atlassian suite, we gain faster service delivery, more efficient teams, and better decision-making from data-driven insights. All of this together leads to a higher ROI. So let's talk more about the star of the show today, Jira Service Management, more commonly referred to as JSM. JSM is an ITSM tool. Its main use cases are listed here. With JSM, you get an intuitive self-service portal to streamline support tickets. You can automate ticket routing and approvals to speed up resolution times. You empower your teams with built-in assets and incident management tools, and it integrates seamlessly with Jira software and Confluence for end-to-end visibility. With JSM, IT teams on average resolve issues 40% faster and improve customer satisfaction significantly. Today, we're going to focus on the features of JSM Standard through Service Request Management. So, as you can see on this slide, there are multiple paths people can take to request help through JSM. The most common route is through a service portal. Before even being opened, tickets can be deferred by self-help articles in Confluence that are automatically suggested, such as a password reset. After a ticket has been opened and routed to the correct team, the JSM agent will open that ticket. Inside of that ticket, they can see suggested Confluence articles with documentations on how to resolve the issue. I'm going to hand things over to Danielle for the demo so we can take a deeper look into JSM.
Right, folks. Well, yes, demo time. So I'm now going to show you where we are. A quick little zoom through JSM from both an end user perspective and also as an agent. It's such a powerful tool and there's so much functionality. This is just basically a bit of a flavor for you, as I don't think we'd have actually time to go through everything. Anyway, let's start at the beginning of the story here at our help center. And as you can see, this is basically where you can access all the different service desk portals. There are multiple here, and it will give you an indication that it's not just IT teams that actually do use JSM in terms of managing any of the requests from their customers. And these can be external customers as well as internal stakeholders. So you can have a mixture or just one or the other, and it's basically a great way to interact and serve everyone who has requests for your different teams. So I'm going to do a couple of examples here. Let's say that we've come to the help center and we want to ask the service desk something. And the first thing is that this is all completely configurable. I'm also working on a demo instance here, which means that not all the data might be there, and we haven't got a lot of the intelligence for AI either, but it will certainly give you an idea of how it all works. So one of the things here in the service desk is I can come here and I can instantly see that actually I wanted some help on my phone, let's say, and instantly it will I can go into any device support and it will show me any of the Confluence knowledge base articles. There you go. These have all been created in Confluence and they are then available to any of the users within JSM. So it's also a great source of truth, as Michael was saying before, so that any of the agents know exactly where to go or where to update any information, and any of your users can instantly find the information that they need. So actually, even if they just have a query and don't necessarily want to open up a support ticket, they can just go into the help portal and find out the information they want. So we're going to go back to device support. Actually, I'm going to go into here and I've decided that this is great information about how to set everything up with my VPN, but it's not quite everything that I want. There's other related articles I can go into, but actually I think I'm going to raise a request and ask the service desk. So one of the things that I want is I think I want to get a new phone. Why not? Who doesn't want one? So I'm just going into all of these different menus that are here, and they can be set up and grouped in any way. The nice thing is that you can use kind of user-friendly language and make sure that you actually cover all of your users' common use cases. And so basically, look, they've been waiting for me. They know that I want a new phone. So it's even got its own kind of help thing on its own. So going into, here's our form that I kind of will just obviously do just to, and I think I just going to say I want a new phone. And then it asks me who my manager is. I'm going to say Heather. So, and then basically, I think they can't say no to that, can they? If you ask, please, please. So here I am, and I've now got my my request has gone through, and this is what we call the request view for any of the users. So I can see this is what any of your users will see, and you can again configure everything in how much you want to show to them. So I can see that my own request has gone through, all of the details. I can see the status. And whether I've got notifications, so I can get emails to tell me that anything's happening with it. And I also know that I need to go and be nice to Heather so that she'll actually say yes to my lovely, bright new, shiny phone. The other thing is that I can actually easily then share it with anybody else. So I wanted Olivia to know that I've asked for a new phone because if Heather says no, I'm going to ask Olivia instead. So we can do that. And I can even find Olivia on the drop down, and there we go. She can now see the request that we've got. Right, so what's happening in the back end? Here's one happy user who knows that the request has gone through. And I'm then going to go into the IT support project. So this is actually the agent view. We're going to come back to this in a minute, but I'm just going to say who doesn't love a good pie chart? So there we are. So anyway, let's go into what we have is the queues. So just to see what would your agent, and I'm going to be a bit schizophrenic here and be both a user and an agent and an approver all in one day, which is quite exhausting. And let's have a look at what's going to happen with our ticket. So I've come in as an agent and I can see a queue of all the new requests that there are. I can also create a filter that has all of the different tickets that are assigned to me. And also there are other queues that that have been set up by the project admin that I can also favorite if I think that there's any that are useful. So say, for example, open tasks. I'd just like to know if there's anything there. At the moment, we're not that busy. No open tasks. But there are, as you can see, quite a lot of requests through anyway. So we have the different request types set up. So they I will go back to them in a minute, but you can have all of the different request types, which basically then correlate to the different sections that you had on your request form. I mean, so far so standard mainly, but let's go into the all open tickets, and I've just seen this one that I want a new phone, so let me open that up. The workflow as well, incidentally, all of these statuses here are obviously completely customizable. So the main thing is really understanding what your own process is and what you need JSM to do. That is kind of mainly the crux of everything because it can do anything that you want. And so really, what we can always help you with is working out exactly what you want and what the optimum process for you is that can then be implemented into Jira Service Management. So looking at this, we're actually at the waiting for approval part of the workflow, and I can cancel it if you want, but I can see who the approvers are. Well, Heather's there, but I think she's going to be a bit slow. Sorry, Heather. So because I know she's on vacation. So I'm just going to add myself. Ordinarily, you obviously wouldn't be able to add yourself as an approver, but we're just going to say that this has happened this time. And you can add approvals at any stage of the workflow if you want, which is obviously very useful if you're dealing with a lot of requests that have to go through a specific compliance process. As soon as I am actually down as an approver for this particular ticket, then when I view it, I can instantly see the approval decline. Am I giving myself a new phone? Oh, go on, why not? So I've just done the approve, and you can see that instantly the status has now changed, that we are now into waiting for support because obviously now it's time to go and buy the phone. Now, if we want to go back in to see what's happened, I'm in the portal and I want to have a look at what's happening with my ticket. I can see that actually it's now waiting for support, that it has been approved, that I was the one that improved my own phone, and I can see everything that's happening as well. And also it kind of wants to show you the different statuses that it's gone through. If you want to hide the fact that it's had to go through approval, you can absolutely hide that from your users or customers as well. So it's kind of this. What's the beauty about this is you can communicate as much or as little as you want to with your users and customers. And as you can see, I've also got the option to escalate if I think that it's kind of not being referred to quickly enough. So going back to our our ticket here. It's now waiting for support, and it's in the open tickets queue. We could also set up a queue that was basically just showed us all of the waiting for support tickets. And I think actually I'm going to assign it to myself. So one of the things is as well that agents can actually manage these tickets just through this list view, or they can go into the longer detail about the tickets as well. The other thing is, the all-important SLAs. As you can see, we've breached quite a few today. So it will show you, you can set up the SLAs any way that you want, but basically whatever your commitment is and how fast you're going to respond to your tickets, Jira Service Management keeps a very, very easy eye on it, and also will tell you very visually how you're doing and whether you need to worry. The other thing is as well that you can set up any kind of queues or filters, so you can actually have a very close to SLA breach report or queue is pretty standard, so you can know whether you need to escalate, and you can keep an eye on all of these things that are happening. So the other thing that I'm going to show you from a kind of an agent point of view as well is that there is also a Kanban board view, and this would be particularly useful to any managers of the team who want to know exactly where they are. But I can also, if I like thinking in Kanban boards, I can also filter on it to see what I have in progress and actually kind of how far through the whole process it is. So it's kind of a nice visual way as well for those that prefer working in boards. The thing is, it's usually just configured mainly by the project admin, and as are the queues, but the queues will actually give you more filters as well. And I think a lot more agents prefer working with that. Anyway, I think what I'm going to do now is shut down this ticket. So let's just say it's resolved. Even though what I could do is going through these different stages is like I can add an internal note to say phone has been, sorry, my computer's having a little bit of a moment, has been purchased. And then I can assign it to the next agent if I want to, depending on your processes. I can see where we are with the SLAs. And as well, I can see all of the different information that I need. The other thing is as well, as Michael was mentioned about the knowledge base, is there's always related articles to any particular subject. So if you are really communicating with a user about more than just kind of which phone to buy, if they have any queries, you can also easily send them the knowledge base article as well, which might help them and also mean that they kind of then resolve their ticket quicker. Right, I am now going to go back and there we go, my desperate plea for a new phone. And having resolved, I'm going to resolve that because we want some wins. But as you can see, it can go through various different parts of the workflow depending. And also one thing that we have set up and is that there is a screen anytime that a new workflow status is requested. And so you can decide whether you're going to respond to the customer or internally. So phone purchased, and there we go. Everyone's great. And then you've got obviously kind of a record of everything that's happened with it. Okay, so now let's go into a different portal. We're back in the help center. We're now into operations. And I think what I want to do is now actually now report an incident. And we're going to see not only how a JSM is linked with Confluence, but also really that how it can be linked with Jira software and your development teams if necessary. So I think let's report a system issue. So something isn't working properly, and let's see what happens. Okay, I think the last one I said was it's on fire. So let's just say Wi-Fi not working. Okay, and obviously you put in your description, and with your forms as well, you can completely, you have autonomy over the wording to the form so that you can direct people, that obviously you have as well all the different knowledge base articles if needed, and you can also add links within those knowledge bases if anyone contact. But the main thing is you actually want all of this communication to be through JSM. The other nice thing is that it integrates with the services that you have set up. So we can actually say, well, you know, hey, what's gone wrong and who do we need to tell about it? I think the front door needs to know. Again, I think it's quite a large impact that the Wi-Fi is not working, and how urgently, let's put high. So there we go. We've created our system issue, and as you can see, it's got a different status called open, and the reason is because it's actually a different project, so which is set up a little differently. So as you can see, it's on fire. We're having quite a day here in the IT operations service project. I'm not sure I'd want to work here. Everything seems to be going wrong, but anyway. So there are quite a few different system issues that are reported and requests for infrastructure going on as well. So I'm just kind of here. I'm going to have a look at, I think orders are getting duplicated. That's in the open queue. Again, I haven't really set up all of the priorities in here, but we could get open incidents. That is one queue that's there. So I can just make that one of my favorites. No, it's up there. So now I can see I'm working on this. The other thing that's actually quite interesting is that there are automations. You can set up automations anywhere you want in JSM, just to basically mean, which means you don't have to keep repeating yourself. And here you can see that actually these assignees, including the one that I've just created, has been assigned to Ryan Lee. That is an automation. So you can actually specify according to the answers on the form and which fields they go to, and which team it's relevant to. Then you can automatically assign it to a particular agent, well, user. Agent. So that means that the right people will start working on it. I'm going to pretend I'm Ryan anyway. Actually, no, I'm going to go into orders of getting duplicated. It's not assigned. So I think I'm going to open that up. And again, I can automatically assign it, or I can assign it to me. There's a little button there, and there we go. Now, one of the other nice things is that here we have a bit of AI that will tell us about similar incidents. So it looks like orders keep getting duplicated. In fact, I would say that was a duplicate ticket about orders being duplicated. And as you can see, then you can get a past history on whether this is actually repeating itself, which definitely will help you for a lot of your problem management. But in your incident management as well, you can see that something seems to be going on. So one of the things is as well, so it's doubling quantity. So I can also inform the stakeholders who have been set up. So, and that will go by email. So we can just say, please help, because obviously this is a very essential thing that's going on. Oh, it won't send the message because, funnily enough, this is demo, there's no email. But I can also reply to the customer, which would be me. I'll just say, please help again. So, or I can add an internal note, which is, what the hell are you guys doing in there? So let's just do that. And again, it means that any of the internal users who are seeing it could actually then look at the notes. We've also got related articles on the knowledge base, as you can see. And one of the things I'm going to do is say, right, this is work in progress. And I actually could have done this as my internal comment or my response to customer. So I kind of did it a bit in the wrong order. But anyway, we're just going to carry on writing a little note. Again, if there's anything that you find that is always being repeated, then you could just quite easily automate it. You could automate sending a comment. You could automate sending the emails with notifications. So basically, the world is your oyster in terms of what you want to do. I will show you one thing, though. So we've moved it over to work in progress. I'm really hoping this automation is going to work because I set it up today. There we go. Look, there is a linked issue. And here we are. It actually seems to be in a completely different project. So let's have a look. What I've done is set up, because let's say with the duplicate payments, it's gone through to the platform team now because it's their responsibility. And so what we've done is actually created through automation, a new ticket that goes into their backlog that then their product owner or manager can actually look at and decide whether it's going to go into the next sprint. You can also kind of set up these tickets according, you could take over the description. You could also give it a specific number of story points according to the priority, obviously a priority according to the priority. So there's really anything that you can do in terms of actually creating these linked tickets to tell your development teams that something needs to be done because you're getting system issues reported from users or even external customers. And therefore, if we go into this view of the platform board, so this is our software team, I must say they've got an immensely long backlog, but you know, that's the way they want to work things. It's up to them. So they've got quite a few sprints. And at the moment, the way that we've set it up is actually the ops issue is right at the bottom of the backlog. And, you know, their product owner is going to go through it. We can even set up that there would be notifications if a high priority ticket that was linked to something in the IT operations project came through, and they'd see it immediately. So then they can go through, assess this, maybe put it into the next sprint, reprioritize it, re-rank it. And the other thing is as well that even from here, I can actually change the different status of what's happening in JSM, even though ideally I'd do it there. But you could also automate it, which I haven't done in this respect, but we could do to say that then this ops issue goes into in progress. Then we could also automate it that it goes through to the next work in progress as well. So actually, as the development team are working on this issue, then actually the agents can report back to the customer where it is. They can see the status, they can see everything that's going on, and you can even have automated notifications as well to say we're on it. So that's to keep your customers happy, and it's what JSM is all about. So I just want to quickly then go through, I think, just the support project itself and just show you a few of the aspects for it. One of the things that we were going to touch on was actually basically the reporting. So it's very much that you can see at a glance a dashboard of how you're doing, and these are customizable in terms of the summary of what you've got, and you can see the activity. But you can also, if you want to get more reporting, and even you could using apps as well, export any of your reports that you want to get up to any of your senior management. Also, the different aspects that we have here as part of your service project is service requests, which is what we've been concentrating on, and incidents. But you can also have these different other categories. So you can put in problems, which are basically another ticket that goes through a workflow, but obviously you have it's really going through different criteria to try and do some work to find out why you have problems. Also, your change management can be part of any particular service project that you want as well. And even you have the opportunity to do post-incident reviews. As you can see, there's all these other aspects as well, and even more reports if you ever wanted to go into them. The only other thing I can do is probably show you again how it looks from our different our requests. So this from a user as well, you can see everything that's currently open, and also what project it's in and the status if I wanted to. But I would also be getting a lot of different kind of notifications coming through as wanted as well. So, and the only other thing as well is there's so much functionality within Jira Service Management that one of the things you can do as well is set up your virtual service agent, which is I think it's part of Premium. You can use it for both Atlassian intelligence. So you can turn on any of the answers that it will suggest to you. And one of the things as well, that if we go into any of the tickets that we're looking at, it will also give you the opportunity to summarize the issue, because I can't see that in there now, but you can definitely get the option if you wanted. There we go. So if you summarize this issue, it will tell you what exactly has been going on, which is very useful for agents who are coming in who can looking at very complex tickets and trying to work out what's going on. The other thing with it as well that you can also essentially set up a chatbot, so you can actually have a conversation that will then tell people, your users, various things at each part of the chat, which will obviously take a lot of work off your agents and make your operations more efficient. So I think that's really what we have at the moment. So I'm going to hand over to Michael now, and I think we have questions or any other comments.
I was on mute that time. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Danielle. I appreciate you walking through all of that. I did see a few questions coming through the Q&A. The first one was, how much does JSM cost? And my answer to that is the best place to see up-to-date pricing is actually on Atlassian's website. It's one of my favorite things about Atlassian, that they actually have clear and transparent pricing that is listed out and readily available. And then let's see here. I saw another one come through that says, what are the main differences between standard and premium plans? So what we went over today for the large part was the standard functionality of JSM. Premium comes with all those standard functions, as well as asset management, AI features, virtual agents, Atlassian Intelligence, and more. And this is actually that page for pricing that we were talking about. And it also shows a deeper dive into some of those differences that come with premium versus standard. You can see listed out there. And then here it's got that feature differences listed as well. Perfect. And then the last question that I saw that we got was, how long does it take to implement? And that's a great question, but I have to come back and say that each implementation really can vary, and the amount of time that they take has a wide range. I mean, a smaller implementation can be completed in as little as a month or two, but to figure out how long your implementation would take, we'd really need to, jump on a call, scope out what your needs are, understand if we're going to be migrating from another tool or not, and then we'd be able to give you a, ballpark amount of time and cost to get that implementation done. Perfect. Well, I know here on this next page we have a bit of our testimonials listed out from some of our happy customers. I know that we've got some folks on the call today as well who work with us, and clearly you must be thrilled working with the OMG team if you decide to come to our webinar today. So just a few of our testimonials listed out, but please do, contact us and reach out if you have any questions at all, whether it be about JSM or a different one of Atlassian's tools. We are always happy to answer any questions that you may have. And I know the last slide does show some contact info there, but please do contact us at all with anything we can do to help. We're more than happy to be of assistance in any way. Well, I want to say thank you everyone for your time today.